just gotta show up and paint.
Alicia from Road Coffee here. Thanks for joining us. Today we're on the road with Devon Plett. Well, thanks for taking the time, Devon, to chat with me for a few minutes.
Yep.
I love that you are a wonderful mix of passions and diverse in your pursuits in life, and so I figured you'd be a great person for the On the Road series.
Cool, thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about just your origin story and how you got into art?
Yeah, for sure. I think that art's been something, honestly, that's been around my life as long as I can remember. My mom's a painter, so she was always painting, and like, honestly, growing up, I just like, that was like the time I got to spend with her. I think once or twice a year we'd do it where she would call into school and like for me to be like sick, and then we'd paint together. So like I just have like super fond memories of that, and like expressing myself that way and being stoked with like the result of what I created.
Really?
And through the process of painting, just found a lot of like joy and peace. So
that's awesome. That's really cool to hear that like your mom fostered that in you at a young age.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Definitely.
Do you find you have a specific style, or how has your art evolved over time?
Yeah, I think my art's changed a lot over time, mainly because I'm other than my mother and like YouTube videos, I guess, and like really close friends who are talented artists. I've just like been trying to teach myself, you know, when it comes to painting and you teach yourself, it takes a little bit longer to find your voice or how you want to paint. But I think that if you just paint honestly, what's happened to my work over time is it's been like a reflection of where I was at. But I don't always see that in the moment. Like I look back at, you know, like I got rolls of canvas and I'll like take one out and I'll roll it out and be like, oh, that's actually a really cool painting. I don't paint like that anymore, but I know why I did then.
Right.
I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I know for you, I've often seen some really unique pieces. Where does that come from? Where do those ideas kind of evolve out of?
Honestly, just start. Like for painting, for me, it's like sometimes there's ideas that pop into my brain. I'm like walking down the street, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I should paint something like this, and then it like sits there, it like sits in the back of your brain for like a week or two, and then nothing happens to it. Absolutely nothing happens to it. But then it's like you get that feeling. It's like, oh, now's the right time to paint that or to do that. Yeah.
Interesting. Have you ever felt like you want to give up or walk away from art and painting?
All the time. Yeah, all the time. I think that's a pretty common occurrence, but I think that it's always been a weird balance for me, like with painting, because I paint very large. I don't paint a lot of paintings that like people are like, wow, that's a beautiful, so I don't know, animal you just painted.
Right.
You know, it's not for everyone. So it's like very clear that like I'm painting out of like inspiration that I have, and like eventually people will see it for what it is, but at face value it's not for everyone. So I think that gets me every now and then when it's like I know I'm just putting in all this work and like painting these big paintings, but it's like not a lot of people even have walls this big, you know? So I just really have to be deliberate about choosing to keep painting, because that's what I think I'm like supposed to be doing, and that's what I enjoy doing. So yeah,
that's really cool. That inspires me. I know art speaks to different people differently, and I've often been inspired by the stuff you create. One of my favorite questions to ask people is, if you had unlimited resources and you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do?
Resources like time too?
Time as well. Yeah, we'll throw that one in there.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm trying to do that now. I feel like I try to pretend I have unlimited resources.
Really?
And, yeah, I feel like I try to pretend that, but I don't know.
I think that's a great mindset. You know, I've asked that question to hundreds of people, and you're one of the only people that have responded asking about time, and is a time a resource that this applies to. So I think that's really cool. Yeah.
Thanks.
If people want to learn more about your art and see more of your work, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram and my website, just devonplett.com.
Well, thanks so much for taking the time, and I'm excited to see the beautiful pieces that will be coming out in the future. We'll see you on the road.
Should we cheers?